God, like, Lord, I don't want to put my hands on no more brothers. I want to keep helping brothers. I don't want to fight my own people no more. I'm like, it's easy for me to round them up, get the bulls out the house, and then say, get them. And that would have been mass hysteria, because they waiting for that shit. They can't wait to take an order from the dog. You know what I mean? And just to say that they did it.
I ain't gotta tell no lie. Still getting 26.
FlyZoneUSA, what up, though? This your big OG TrickTrick. Listen, if you don't know, shame on your ass, okay? Because I got the big dog in the building. If you understand me, the two unofficial mayors. At one point, we was both the mayor at the same time. What's up, big bro? Kwame Kilpatrick in the building.
How you feel,
man?
Bro?
I'm blessed and highly favored.
Same here, bro.
Ain't got no complaining to do. I saw you in D.C. No, I'm sorry. In D.C. It was cold as motherfucker. And you was coming in. You put your coat and coat check. And I said, boy, you done clean in the government check. He said, this ain't shit. They took everything. I said, wait. That's a nice suit. What the fuck?
Hey, but I can't fit all that no more. They can have.
Yeah, I can't fit it.
Yeah, take it.
Now, you were born and raised?
Born and raised in Detroit.
Cass Tech?
I went to Cass Tech.
Cass Tech.
Yeah, Fairbanks, Pelham, Cass.
Nah,
Detroit Public School.
Tell me about Lil Kwame.
Man, Lil Kwame, big old little short fat kid right there on Lothrop and Linwood.
Okay.
That's where I grew up. We in a two-family flat, and then when I was 12 years old, we moved around the corner on LaSalle.
Okay.
But that's where I'm from. My whole family is from the Boulevard to Chicago, from Linwood to Dexter. So everybody lived right there. So I was riding my bike then. That's why we so protected with our kids. Now I'm riding my bike way to Chicago, Davidson. I'm going way over Grand River. I was going to hoop at Dexter Davidson. My cousin owned a barbershop right there on Dexter and Fullerton, Ali's barbershop. And so from the time I was 4 or 5 years old, I was getting my hair cut there all the way. I was in my 20s, I was mayor. And so I was over there, Dexter, Linwood, that's my area, 12.
What you do after Cass?
I went to Florida A&M on a football scholarship.
Okay.
Yep, I went down there, played ball 4 years. I made all conference a couple of years, and All-American my senior year.
Okay.
Yep.
So football, you just said.
I wanted to play, man. We played Grambling in a bowl game. We played a Heritage Bowl game. My senior year, I ruptured 2 discs in my back in that third quarter. I came back here to Michigan, had the back surgery. But I went out and tried out for a couple of teams, but I was messed up. I couldn't pass the flex test. I couldn't do the things I used to do. So I started teaching Detroit Public Schools. I had my degree. I taught Detroit Public School. I taught at Marcus Garvey Academy on the east side. Three and a half years. I taught 7th and 8th grade over there.
Like what class was it?
Social studies.
Oh,
social studies. Government.
My fucking worst subject.
Yeah. No, you'd have been good. You'd have been good.
See, you know what? Because I bet you was the type of teacher that was interactive.
No question.
Yes, sir.
I was at the school from 8 o'clock in the morning to 8 o'clock at night.
Okay.
I had basketball. I started a Boy Scout troop. Because they was the only people giving some money. I asked the kids, the 7th grade class, I said, y'all ever been to camp? Now, mind you, I ain't been to camp either. But I said, y'all ain't never been to no camp? What you doing this summer? They talking about, we ain't going to no camp. We was in there. I said, I'm going to take you to camp. Okay. Right? We going to camp this summer. So come way around to May, I'm talking about, okay, school's almost out. You know, Miss Gill, you said you was taking us to camp. I ain't thought about it since the first week of school. I said, Lord have mercy, I got to find somewhere. I'm taking it, I'm going to get y'all there. So I started calling around Detroit. The Boy Scouts said, you can come up here. All you got to do is be a troop. So we 2 guys came over there to the school, made them a troop. We went to Boy Scout camp. Yeah. So we went 2 years in a row when I was teaching there. And then I went to the State House. After that. So after the State House, when I got there, my first year there, I saw John Engler, Curtis Hertel, and the guy from the Senate. I can't remember. They went and we had a surplus of $375 million. And I said, man, I saw them 3 dudes go into a room, and they came out and told us how we supposed to vote. They already had it spent. Now it's 110 people out here. Them 3 guys go in the room and tell us what we doing. And we just voted. Okay. I said, man, I got to get in that room. And at that point, there had never been a black person in the history of Michigan that was leader in the House. There was never a black speaker, never a black them leader. And so I ran. I ran for that job at 27 years old, 26, 27 years old. And I went all over the state. I was sitting up in people's houses, going to deer blinds, going hunting. You know what I'm saying? I'm all in the UP. I'm going all over the state, meeting with people, my colleagues, because my colleagues vote for me for that position, not people in. And I ended up winning. I won the position. I became the first African-American, first floor leader, then leader the next year of the State House in Lansing. And then the year after that, I ran for mayor at 30.
So your experience as a social studies teacher is what kind of gave you the insight, or did you study social studies or study,
You know, I had real life experience. My mom was in the State House, remember?
Okay,
and then
okay,
she went to Congress, right? Then mom was in Congress.
Shit, I forgot about that.
My father was a county commissioner.
Right.
You know, they were divorced, so he was on the west side of Detroit, Grand River Greenfield.
Okay.
She was Linwood, Dexter area and all that.
Yeah.
So I was walking in both of them. 12, 13 years old, I was going up door to door. How you doing? Yeah, I'm here on behalf of my dad. You know?
Yeah, okay.
I'm
so
talking
you in there already.
10, 11,
Yeah.
12. My mother, she won when I was 9. My father won when I was 11. And so my mother was there 18 years. And then she was in the Congress for 16 years. My father was a county commissioner for about 10 years, and then he worked with McNamara for about 10 years.
Right.
And so I knew about it, real life experience, how it worked. I could tell you about the 3 branches of government, but I could show you better than I could tell you how this worked, how a bill becomes a law, what happens between members with those process and also with that process, and then also lobbying and interest groups. I loved it. I loved that whole body politic thing. I loved it from the time I was 8, 9 years old.
Take me to the day that you made the final decision. I'm gonna be the mayor. I'm gonna run for mayor of Detroit.
Now listen, at 10 years old, at Fairbanks Elementary School, John C. Lodge and Seward, I won a contest. The contest was a Black Studies contest. Whoever names the most Black inventors, they get to meet the mayor. You win the city. So I ended up winning for my school. And then I won. Remember, we had them regions when we were little. Region 1, Region 2 when we were little in school. And I won my region. And we got to go down and meet Coleman Young at the Manugian Mansion. And so we stood in line with our parents. My mama and me were there. And they opened the door, and it was Coleman Young. Now, that was my guy, man.
Yes,
and I'm
sir.
sitting there like, man, it's Coleman Young. I'm nervous. I walk in, and I said, hi, Mr. Coleman Young. He said, hey, big fella. He shook my hand. He said, one day you could be mayor. And I said, okay. And I took the picture. Still got the picture to this day. Listen, when I got in the car, I said, Ma, you heard him? She said, yeah, I heard him, baby. He said, you gonna be mayor. She said, that's what he said. He said, you gonna be mayor one day. He didn't say that, but that's what I heard.
That's what you
And
heard.
from that point on, I started telling people I was gonna be mayor. I was at Cass. I'm gonna be mayor. 10 years.
Manifestation at its finest.
question. No
Speak
question.
it, believe it.
Yes,
Go
sir.
ahead. Yeah, my bad.
And so when Dennis Archer was mayor of the city of Detroit, I'm driving to Lansing to work. And on the news, breaking news, Dennis Archer decided he would not seek re-election. I said, oh, that's interesting. Man, Dennis ain't gonna do it. Boy, that's gonna be something for the next mayor. I don't think nothing of it. I get there, when I got to my office, Ed McNamara called me. Remember him, Wayne County exec? And he said, I wanna see you, kid, down here. I said, all right, I'll be down there when I come back from Lansing. I went to his office. He said, I just wanted to talk to you because, politics is 3 things: timing, timing, and timing. He said, this is your time. You need to run for mayor. First time I ever heard that. I said, man, I'm too young. I'm 30. Nobody gonna vote for me for no mayor. I'm 30 years old. He said, man, it's your time. So I left out of that office, unbeknownst to them. He had an interview with Channel 7 about an hour later. I get to my house. I'm sitting in the house, me and my first wife. I'm sitting there and playing with the kids, having a good time. He come on TV and they asked him, who do you think the next mayor of Detroit should be? I think it should be Kwame Kilpatrick. I'm like, oh man, he about to. Before that newscast, they was outside, man. I'm living on Leslie and Dexter.
Yeah.
They outside the house. The news out there. What do you think, Ed McNamara? I said, it's something I had to think about. It's something I wanted to do my whole life. I hadn't really thought about it. I talked to him earlier. I didn't know he was going to put me out here like this, but I'm going to think about it. That's all I said. I started asking people, everybody telling me too young. My father said, you ain't too young, let's ride.
Let's ride.
Let's go.
Yeah.
And my mother was like, well, you should think about it, you're young. My father was like, man, whatever, man, let's go.
Let's go.
Yeah, I had both sides. I had the pragmatic approach, and then I had my father from the north end. Let's ride. Here we go.
Let's ride, boy.
I said, all right, I'm going to run. All right, I'm going to run.
Yeah.
And we started a movement. You remember?
And it was,
Man, we started a movement, man. That thing was off the hook in 2001. It was different.
what are some of the things like that, like coming from what Dennis Archer era, what were some of the things that you fixed, or what were your accomplishments as mayor?
I see, and one of the things you would
outside of getting a bunch of young people out to vote.
Yeah, I think one of the things that you would never hear is people attack my work. It's always about me.
Yeah.
First of all, we got city services in line. We just had 2 firefighters here.
Yeah.
Firefighters hadn't had new firehouses or new equipment in years. We bought all new fire trucks, all new EMS, all new fire equipment. We fixed up their firehouses because a lot of the floors in the fire stations, they weren't built. They were built when it was horse and carriage. So they weren't built to hold the big rigs. So the rigs was parked outside. So we fixed the place. Fixed up all the police stations. Police stations was on MDTs back then, mobile data terminals. We got them all connected to the internet. So when they plug it in, they'll know what's going on with whomever they're behind, and also get the whole file from a person when they're doing investigations. Got them new cars, new equipment, new communications equipment. We did the whole build out. So city service, cut the parks. Every 10 days, the grass was cut. I'm riding around here now, grass ain't like that. I'm like, but I mean, we built 30-something new parks in the city of Detroit. Built 6 new rec centers. Detroit hadn't had any new rec centers since Coleman Young built Coleman Young downtown. So that was my thing. I'm from here. I grew up here. I was born here. I went to these public schools. So my thing, these my people.
That's right.
I was connected to this town. So like most mayors, it was more of a business. But for me, it was personal.
Yeah.
It was real personal. I was tired of Detroit being the butt of all jokes in the world. So getting the Super Bowl, the Final Four, the Major League Baseball All-Star game. I was going out, man. We have to reintroduce Detroit to the world.
Yes, sir.
Because, we ain't going to be the butt of your jokes no more.
That's right.
Yeah, we for real. Yeah. And so Detroit hadn't built a new hotel since 1989. I came in 2001. They hadn't built a hotel since the Athenaeum. We built 7 hotels in 5 years. Right. We raised $50 million and did the riverfront. We did the entire campus marshes. Yeah. So a lot of people, though, they say that was other people. That was Kwame. That was the team we put together that did all of that. From the Book Cadillac, Hilton Garden Inn, the 3 casino hotels. I negotiated the 3 casino hotels, the permanent, in Las Vegas by kicking the lawyers out and doing the final deals myself. Detroit is coming out of bankruptcy right now because attached to the contract that we put together there was that they would deposit everyday earnings into the Detroit budget every 24 hours. So it was the cash that Detroit needed to go out of bankruptcy. And so when people talk about, you were part of the bankruptcy, I'd be like, well, you out of there, man, we got to talk about that. Y'all tripping. Yeah. But I understand why they think that way, because that media was tough.
The media, yeah.
So,
why did the media hate? Because they hated you before the situation. Why did they hate you so much? Was it racial?
I mean,
because you young black mayor, young
black dude, wearing big old
hood
suits,
nigga,
gators,
yeah,
earrings,
dog hats on,
earring, man. I'm calm now,
I mean, but shit,
earring in my ear. I'm at the BET Awards, the Grammys.
Come on now,
they like this dude that lost his mind, But I look back on him, it's like Shawshank Redemption. Remember, what's my man's name? Morgan Freeman.
Yeah.
When they put that thing on him, they said, what the redemption? He said, redemption, that's just a word. He said, what would you tell this young guy? I tell him to sit down and shut up. That's how I feel at 55-year-old
55,
30-year-old Kwame. At some point, I think it was the fact that I was just unafraid, and a confident black man is an arrogant one. It's hard to get when you 6'4", 300 and something pounds at that time, walking around with them suits on, you show up. And people get on defense.
6'5". I'm 6'4".
People show up, they get on defense, and I think that I just shock people. See, post Donald Trump, I don't think it'd have been that big of a deal. See, wasn't nobody like that then. You know, Donald Trump, though, he took it to the next level.
Next level.
I would have been mine.
Yeah.
You know, Trump came, somebody totally that doesn't fit the whole narrative of what a president should be, the distinguished nature of him, the polite nature, and what man, listen, he just obliterated that. And a lot of people around the country are trying to be him. They can't be him.
They can't be
him. That dude
it's too late.
No, he got that. And I think that's the thing for mayor. They wanted to get a person that wore a blue suit and a red tie, that was congenial, that he was kind and gentle. And I'm from Linwood and the Boulevard.
There's no kind and gentle in me.
Kind and gentle. Man.
You don't know Linwood and the Boulevard, do you?
Listen, man, they put a gun in my head, took my jacket right in front of the concert dine. I was about 11 or 12. I said, man, this ain't a kind and gentle community.
It's not.
Not this week, it ain't.
No.
You know? But I love it. I love my community. I love where I'm from. But I was young too. You know, when you 30, you know, TrickTrick today
buddy.
and TrickTrick at 30.
30, Lord.
That's two totally different
way.
You know, and so
I wouldn't do 95% of the shit I used to do back
Exactly.
then.
Exactly.
You can't come around me with cocaine.
No.
We will fight.
Exactly.
Back then.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, going to Vegas and hanging and going to parties and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
You know, man, I'm just a completely different person now. But I believe that's why, first of all, it was sexy to put me in the paper. Yeah. I had one news director tell me, man, you're going to be on the news every day. We got to keep you there because, you know, people watch. And same thing with the paper. So it's one, that is a part of that, but a lot of that too, it was the niggerization process too.
Yeah.
You know, take a perfectly good African American. I graduated from college with honors. I graduated from law school. I passed the bar the first time I ever took it. You know, I ain't getting no trouble growing up. You know, but you criminalize big black dudes.
Just period.
Yeah, it's just
your
you
style
just got,
was criminal.
Yeah,
yeah. Your
that's
swagger
what I
was
grew up
criminal.
around. The suits, the gators, the this. That's how we look here. You know, and that thing, you kind of take a perfectly good black man, you gotta niggerize it.
Yeah, they can't have no politics.
Keep people in fear, and that's something I think that's been diminished in the political ranks because now everybody are leaning more to the Barack Obama. There's a motto now. Yeah. There's a motto of a black elected official that people like. He's the kinder, gentler black man. Yeah. But you look on that House floor, you ain't seeing no Kwame Kilpatrick.
Yeah, no.
They heard them, got them out the Democratic Party quick.
Get the joke out of it.
As a matter of fact, there's been a movement to lift up black women inside the Democratic Party and not so much black men. And I think that that's been much to the destruction of the Democratic Party in the black neighborhoods.
I mean, it's driving more brothers to, you know, independence or, you know, to the Republican Party, you know, just the values and the conservative values that are, you know, obviously present within, you know, that community versus, you know, the wild nature of, like you say, the disrupted Democratic Party is turned to something like, wait a minute. I mean, I too used to say, I'm a Democrat. And it's like, okay, well, what is a Democrat? I don't know, let me see. Holy fuck, no, I'm not that. You know, that time go, but that's time.
That connection is just not there. When you know, with an honest day's pay for an honest day's work, when it was, you know, really supporting the people that's on the ground doing the job, the teachers, the nurses, when we were real supportive of people that were making America go, that was the party. When we started making party positions, LGBT stuff, transgender stuff, party positions on abortion. You got Democrats, it's just some people don't support it, some people do. Just let people do what they're gonna do. All of that caucus positions on all of these different things, man. If
social issues don't belong in there.
When I was leader, we never took a caucus position on abortion. We never took a caucus position on LGBT. And it was the same amount of leaders, liberals. Kwame, we gotta do it. You gotta listen, man. My sister is crying. Your sister's gonna cry. We got to take, you know, if we got to take a caucus position, she gonna keep crying. We're not about to put ourselves out because I got members here that they feel different than you. So what we do, you vote your conscience. And I would go out and say that, but that's not, we don't have that kind of party now because the money behind the party. You know, there was a brother before you, he talked about the oligarchical type of authority over the Democratic Party now. And he said something that was beautiful. He said that they're nameless and in many respects faceless. We don't even know who these people are. But we know they're there. And they push an agenda that most people can't say no to, particularly the leadership within the Democratic Party and unfortunately the labor unions.
Because they've demonized free thinking.
Yes.
You're not allowed to think different than the money.
Exactly.
Yeah, you got to think like the money tell you. If you don't, you
cancel.
You cancel.
You cancel. That's the word.
You cancel what you ain't
cancel.
financing.
Yeah.
Now, they came after you. I, as a friend and a fan, you know, because it was I saluted the whole movement from the beginning to now. Well, you my brother. So what I never knew why. I never knew why. All I would just say when somebody say, you know, I'm speaking like TrickTrick, and they say, man, your man Kwame, man, and I say, Kwame a real nigga. Like that's my conversation, you know what I mean? I say Trump a real nigga, you know what I mean? I know that's not the politically correct, but I'm not a politically correct motherfucker. I'm not that. And I'm not gonna watch my fucking tone because somebody's feelings hurt. Get stronger goddamn feelings. But how, like what was it, bro?
First of all, I appreciate you to say what I won't say.
I thank you
that
shit,
man.
yes, sir.
You know, thank you, man. Some of us, you know, we can't say that.
I could dig it. Nephew, he
around all
before
this, you know,
yeah, all right, man, fuck off. What you gonna do? That's me. You ain't gonna do shit but talk. Bitch, pull up.
And see, my role would be, hey, let me talk to you. How you doing, man?
Yeah.
You see, I
ain't got that.
We don't have to do this kind of thing.
ain't
You see,
got
now I could have a real good meeting.
Yeah.
Once you say that,
Yeah.
man, my meeting get better.
Yeah, I ain't got
yeah.
I don't want to get it.
Yeah,
I like to express myself. If people could put on dresses, skirts, and do lipsticks and stuffs and whatever, hey, that's cool, dog. Do your thing. But yeah, I'm with this motherfucking, I'm with the real shit, my real shit. Just because it's different than yours don't make you my enemy. You can leave me the fuck alone.
My roommate at Florida A&M, his name is Tim Green. He passed away. That's my brother from another mother. We were about to get into a fight with these local guys. We had a gas station. They come up, they woofing. So, you know, I put my stuff down, I'm ready to go. And I'm like, hey, man, listen, I don't know what y'all mad at. I'm doing the talking. He quiet. He sitting there. I'm doing the talking. Man, we ain't got to go through this, man. We all brothers, man. Why y'all worry about we go to college, y'all don't? He said, the hell that. He pulled out almost a machete, right? He said, and they on the wall. They went from being like, no, to, what were you saying? They want to talk to me now.
Yeah.
I said, I learned that a knife sometimes helps the negotiation process.
Sometimes it does.
So I didn't have a knife.
Yeah, but
But now I can get to the bottom of the negotiation and figure out how we walk out of here safe and everybody go home.
yeah.
Because he had a knife.
Yeah.
So sometimes I love that knife you got.
Yeah. So I just sometimes, I mean, you know, we all should, you know, one thing for sure, two things for certain. This is America. It's the greatest fucking country in the world. It's mine. I was born in this motherfucker. So all the good, all the bad, it is what it is. I'm gonna do what I can to change me, make this place better for me, my family, my friends, and the people who fuck with me. Everybody else, do you. But don't come around this motherfucker trying to make me be like you, think like you, act like you, or do like you. You know, I'm not into that shit. I'm me. I am Dr. Christian A. Mathis, United Nations Peace Ambassador, former drug dealer, former gang leader. Like, I come from the shit. You know what I mean? But I do have a great deal of the Holy Ghost in my blood. And that's what keep me from, you know, going all the way with shit sometimes, okay? God damn it, I can get live, but...
The Bible says the love of Christ constrains me. It holds me back.
Yeah.
That's what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Put a word to it.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Bishop. But, so why did they come after you, though, bro?
It started with me. You know, I was having an affair with my chief of staff, and I was hiding it. In some kind of way, the police did their own investigation. The police the whole time, because we was trying to make the police work. In 2004 and 5, we had lower crime numbers than we had seen since the 1960s. But that was because Jerry Oliver, who was chief at that time, he was making people get out and work. You got to get from behind that desk, man. You got to get out and work. And then Ella Bully Cummings, the first woman police chief, she came in and started making people do the same thing. She came in the motto. So the police hated me. So the police union, not the police officers, the police union. The police union, they decided to go and pull my text messages out of a technology storage facility in Mississippi, found them with a fake subpoena. The subpoena was an unlawful subpoena. They just did it and made up a subpoena, like it made up a case, and got my text messages. And then my text message showed that me and my chief of staff was having an affair. They made up a case. A judge forced me to go testify for this car accident case. It was a car accident between two officers. They had never made the mayor testify in none of these cases. There are hundreds of lawsuits against the city a year, hundreds of lawsuits that name the mayor. This is the first time the mayor had to go to a deposition. I go to a deposition, they ask me 3 questions. I always say it's 3 questions that changed my life. Are you having a romantic relationship? After 60 minutes of talking, these were the last 3 questions. The guy just comes, are you having a romantic relationship with your chief of staff? And when he asked me, of course, like you looking right now, I said, God damn, in my head, they got something. I said, no. He said, are you telling me you're not having a romantic relationship with your chief of staff? I said, no. He asked the 3rd time. I said, they got this. I'm in my head, but I just kept it no. Left there. They released the text messages. Kim Worthy comes out, and for the first time in the history of this town, even before or since, she's filing criminal charges of matters that come out of a civil case. So she filed criminal charges against me for obstruction of justice. I ended up fighting it, get a budget passed. We did the riverfront, all kind of stuff. But eventually, they got to Governor Jennifer Granholm, you remember her, and some of the pastors around here called her and told her to take me out. I know who it was. Matter of fact, I know one of them they called, and my main man was sitting with Jennifer Granholm. He called me right after he had called up there. And so a lot of this, for years I've been like, but now, the Lord has done a mighty work on me. But I resigned. Little did I know that I took office on January 1st, 2002. The feds opened up an investigation of me on February 4th, 2002. I only been in office a month. They had it's the longest contiguous federal investigation in the history of the Eastern District, Michigan. Still to this day. Over 141 employees investigating me. Continuously, 3 separate grand juries. The first 2 grand juries ain't nothing come out of there. The 3rd grand jury, when I was gone from office, all of the charges you saw me go to trial on. I moved to Dallas. I'm in Dallas, and I get indicted by the feds. 6-month trial, 62 witnesses. I get found guilty of a RICO, and I get sentenced to 28 years. And I go straight. I went to a maximum security prison in the state.
For what? What was the charge?
A political corruption, RICO. It's so wide open.
Okay.
I'm like, I don't have no charge. This is what people think I stole money. I don't have a single charge of no embezzlement, no charge of conviction of stealing no money, no charge of conviction of misusing no public funds. But the rumor mill in Detroit is he stole money. I ain't got no stealing money charge. No matter how many times I say this, how many times y'all look at the charges, that ain't on there. I have extortion by color of official right, wire fraud, mail fraud, which is writing a letter for fundraising, and they say I was using the money for myself that I fundraised with. It was a very terrible case. It was the worst case. Now, I did that. I lied about the affair. I did that. I was having it. I was being wicked. I was cheating on my wife. Really, I say cheating on my kids, too. I was doing that, and I should have got punished for it because I was lying. But this stuff on this federal trial, lawyers from California to New York, New Jersey to Texas, they all saw the nonsense. Jared Kushner then, it eventually got to him, his people, but it was going to, and I didn't even know this. I didn't even know, I'm in a cell. I didn't even know this was going on. They got to Jared Kushner and explained to him that this is nonsense. Because he understood the federal system because of what happened to his dad, he could see through the case. I don't know if you know Jerron Smith in his office. He just took it upon himself to start looking at it, got some more people together, And then people just started advocating on my behalf to get me out. And on January 20th, 2021, Donald Trump, man, got me out of there. He actually signed my...
The racist.
Yeah. Listen, I talked to Van Jones when I was locked up. I was actually in the SHU. You know how to give you a phone call every 30 days. So I hit Van Jones.
How the fuck you end up in there?
I was in the SHU 225 days. I walked out the prison from the SHU.
Jesus.
I went from the inner parts of the prison to the Delta flight home.
So somebody was puppet mastering the whole time.
The whole time. Listen, they arranged for me to get a compassionate release. I got the compassionate release in May of 20. So they put me in the SHU to do that, what you call it, you had to go through decontamination or whatever. It was COVID. Quarantine. They put me in there for quarantine. Couldn't think of the word. Quarantine for 21 days. But I was in there 6 days in Barr. Remember Bill Barr, the Attorney General? Mm-hmm. He pulled my release and told the people in Detroit, it's a group of pastors, he ain't getting out over my dead body. And so I was in there. I signed release papers, called my mom, I'm coming home. And the warden came by and said, man, they snatched the release. He said, but I'm going to keep you here because I think they're working on something. So I got released again in October. So now it's May to October. I'm still in there in the SHU. He said, because if you leave, you got to come back over here for 21 days. So I said, no, I'll stay. He said, but if you get the compassionate release, you can just walk out. So I said, all right, I'll stay. So now we in October. I get released again, sign the papers. I don't make no phone calls this time. I just wait. 6 days later, Barr pull it. I'm still in there January 20th. I don't get a compassionate release. I get a commutation. And then the guards came to the cell talking about, man, you on CNN and everything. This for real. And the warden came about 2 or 3 hours later, said, it's real. Let me get you out of here quick and quiet. I left that cell at 9 a.m. I was in my mama's house in Atlanta eating crab cakes and cheesecake at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. That's how quickly you can get out when the right person say, come on out. The right person. Yeah, and then, you know, shouts out to, you know, Donald J. Trump, man.
Flat out.
You know, I really did.
My homeboy,
man, listen, man. He didn't have to do it. I didn't know him. It's all kind of rumors about it, you know. But my people, 90% of the people that talk to Donald Trump, I had never met before in my life. Alice Johnson, right. Alveda King, Angela King. I didn't know them. Right. I didn't know any of those people. Jared Kushner, never met them. Jerron Smith, never met these people. But they find, that's why I said God just turned hearts for me. I'm in there praying, the heart of the king is in the hand of the Lord, and like the rivers of water, he could turn it whichever way he please. That's what it says in Proverbs 21:1. And I was praying it every day. Turn President Trump's heart towards me. And they came and I walked me right out the front door from the back of the prison, you know. And so I owe a lot to God for what he's done for me. You know, I came and said thank you personally to President Trump at the White House, at Mar-a-Lago, you know. Yeah. And a lot of people don't understand, you know, oh, you did this. Listen, man, listen.
It ain't for them. If they don't understand, it ain't for them. It ain't your job to teach them, make people understand. Their lack of understanding is due to their lack of research and even being able to hear past their feelings. You know, so, fuck them.
My youngest son was 9 years old when I went in. He was 19 when I got out. So I went in the state 15 months, then the feds for almost 8 years. And
that's crazy.
So when you think about that, and we went away to a trip, and me and Jonah sitting up talking, he said, Dad, you missed everything. You know, you get that, you're like, dang, you missed middle school, you missed high school. You know, when they start talking to you, like, dang. You know I missed it, but he knew. Yeah. Man, so when people talking about all that stuff, man, and I'm reconnected now to my 3 sons from my first marriage, my guys, they doing amazing. Man, I don't care about none of that.
That's right.
About none of that. And
me and my boys good. Man, I don't give a fuck what nobody else talking about.
God gets the glory.
Amen.
Amen. This ain't about politics.
That's right.
You know?
So I'm over here like, damn, it was super informative and so swift. And like it's right there. Like it's like I really don't like. I always wanted to know what was the actual charge, but then
let me just get down the feds. So the feds did a RICO. Now everybody know the RICO was formed in the 50s to get the mob. Mm-hmm. They came in and said that we were running a criminal enterprise. They had one RICO witness. His name is Derek Miller. Derek Miller, I met at Cass in the 9th grade. This was my guy. my main man. When we were in office, he worked with me for my first term, but then he started to get distant. He started to get distant. He started to hang with folks I didn't really feel. You know, we all started saying, what's up with you? But he had this visions of grandeur. He wanted to be rich, you know. He wanted to, and so he came to me and said, I think it's time for me. I'm going to start my own business. I'm going to lead administration. I just said, okay, man. We actually gave him a party. Yeah, I'm going to give you a party, man, because I wanted him to go. When I ran for re-election, he wasn't really with me, wasn't around, so we wanted him out anyway. So right after the election, he left. Well, what he did is he went out, he hooked up with this company, and they were siphoning money from, he was taking cash from different people in different departments. So when they got him, he said, oh man, I can go get him for you if y'all give me a deal. That's what happened. And so his lawyer arranged an agreement for him to say all the stuff he was doing at them places, he was doing it and coming back and giving me money. So with no record of him ever giving me money, no record of us really being together during that time, he was talking about me meeting him in empty restaurants, and he gave this like little old school mob stuff, man. Like, yeah, he was in the movies, and it was like, man, I was like, this dude. But they proved he was the worst witness ever. They locked him down, proved, and eventually they said, how many times did you lie in here today? It was like 14. He had to count the times he lied, you know. But it was, at the end of the day, and this is what I want people to understand, nothing in that case was believable. But here it is. The prosecutor did an amazing thing. I even called him and told him, this is how when I got out of prison, I called the defense attorney and told him that was the coldest thing. Man, he couldn't believe it. I said, man, that was the coldest closing argument I ever heard. He said, the people that came up here and talked, you know, they were scoundrels. Derek Miller, he was a scoundrel.
That was
the dude. The prosecutor was saying this about this closing. Okay. Yeah, this is closing. He said he didn't believe in God. He told him he didn't believe in God, understand? He lied 14 times. Then he looked at the jury. He said, but he's not our friend. He looked at me. He said, he's his friend.
Ooh.
And then he did like 3 or 4 witnesses like that, but he's not our friend. He's his friend. Oh, and this guy got up and he lied and told you this and told you that, but he's not our friend. He kept pointing to me. He's hitting for his friend. He said, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, we don't have a smoking gun on Kwame Kilpatrick. But I tell you this, birds of a feather flock together. And he sat down. Boy, I said, I'm going to jail. That was good. I said, God, that was cold-blooded. But when he did that, I read that so many times sitting in a prison cell. And I said, man, I ever get a chance to live this life again, I'm going to surround myself with some people who know God.
Amen.
Some people who solid. Some people who have a good foundation.
Yes, sir.
And so almost none of the people, except for Bobby Ferguson, that's my man, 100 grand, that's my guy. You know, that were my friends then, are my friends now. Right. And that's one of the things that I had to teach my sons, man. Everybody ain't made to do the whole journey with you.
They're not supposed to.
They're not supposed to. Some people seasonal, and you got to be able to recognize.
There's some pawns, there's some queens and kings, yeah.
And they might be good, but it was for a season.
Only for a season.
They weren't supposed to go over here. When you went over here, they were supposed to stay right over here. And I had to live it. I had to live it to understand.
That's right. You know? That's right. Man, God bless you, brother.
Man,
I was so happy when Trump let you out, man. I was like, man, God damn it, that's right. Man, that's my man. I saw him, man, he ain't deserve that shit, man. They say, bitch, he was too arrogant. He was too arrogant. Bitch, have you heard of Jay-Z record?
Hey, let me tell you, I was at Fort Dix last day. I was at Fort Dix, and all the little guys used to come in, and I used to talk to all the youngsters. You know, I used to do some legal work for them, help a lot of guys get out of there. And I was talking to this guy. He was in a conspiracy murder. It was 3 of them. I actually did help them cats too. But he said, man, big homie, listen, man. They had 25 in life, right? In the conspiracy. And one of the guys that got 25, he said, dang, big homie, you got 28? You got more than I got, and I did kill that dude. And that's the first time I was looking at him, I said, I laughed a little bit, I said, hey, man, that's crazy. Yeah. He said, you got more time than me, and I really he killed that dude. Man. I mean, he deserved it. But I did it.
Yeah.
He said that. I was like, wow. And that was the first time I realized how much time I got.
Yeah.
You know, wow, that's what y'all gonna do? You throwing me away.
So they didn't do, none of that case did had nothing to do with dancer and all that crazy shit that they was testing. So that's just people putting, that's why you don't listen
the
to
whole
people.
dancer thing, that was just a rumor, ain't got nothing to do with no case. As a matter of fact, her family filed, they was trying to get some money.
Yeah.
So they made this rumor that was overwhelming. They made up the story. Listen, the Attorney General spent $5.4 million investigating, state police investigated, everybody investigated. Can't say, no, that's an urban legend. It just never happened.
Taxpayers' dollars wasted
man,
on
they
some
wasted so much money
bullshit.
on that.
$5.8 million?
$5.4 million out of taxpayers. Then they took it to court 3 times, and they got thrown out 3 separate times. They done did depositions on everybody, including
On a witch hunt.
a straight witch hunt. If it was anything to do with Kwame Kilpatrick, I'd have been locked up.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it ain't.
Oh, let's spend the money on locking this nigga up, but goddamn me, fuck them kids that's missing. We ain't gonna spend no money on that. We ain't gonna spend no money on making sure these babies can learn and eat good food in school and make sure they got heat in the house in the wintertime. Let's blow it on trying to lock this nigga up because we don't like him.
Man, listen, and the city lost. And I'm not just saying that because, this is how you lost. You lost because you have absolutely no involvement, none in the economy of your own city. You know, you're not participating at that level. Matter of fact, you don't even feel like I can go down there and really get involved. You know, whether that's cutting the grass or paving the street or knocking down houses or you involved in the real estate deals that's going on, or you now can go and get some stuff on the riverfront or in New Center. And I think that people don't understand the relationship between the economics of a community or a state and the politics. It's not just about, you know, having an advocate there that can vote the way you want to vote on all the issues that make the press. It's also having an advocate there that can strengthen your small business. That can help you get access to opportunities to be able to compete. You don't even have a person to call. I thank God that we have a new mayor now. You know, Duggan was all right. He cool. That's my guy. He all right. But I hope that she understands that her relationship is not just to do social stuff.
Period.
It's not just to be the person to go around, do speeches and kiss babies and everybody like you. You also are really important to the economy of the city. And if your city is 84% black, which it still is, you have to make sure that you circulate dollars in the black community here. It's not a race argument, it's an economic argument. Detroit doesn't work if black people don't do well. I can't stand that, I hate it. But I hope we're moving past it to the point where now Detroiters can say, okay, it's time for us to get back involved in our city. And I'm seeing that. I rode the bus the other day. I got on the Dexter, man. I went downtown.
The sexy Dexter.
Yeah. I went downtown Detroit.
You know they used to call the bus. It's still called the bus.
What's that?
The Kwame.
What?
That's what they called the bus, was called that Kwame. You better get on that Kwame.
What?
You ain't know that?
I ain't know that, man.
Especially the Dexter bus.
That was that.
That was the Kwame.
Yeah.
Man, I wish Diesel was here, man. Diesel would tell you. Diesel the one that put me up on it back then.
Somebody
wanted to ride somewhere. He said, "You better get on that Kwame." I said, "What? What's that?" He said, "The bus."
I never heard that before.
I still call it the Kwame, the bus. I said one day I'm gonna get on the bus, and I just want to get on there and just talk to people and interview people.
That's what I did.
Yeah.
I got on there, went down to the Rosa Parks Transit Center, waited on the Dexter. People was looking at me, man, what you doing? I said, man, I'm about to ride with you, man. Yeah. I got on the bus, man. We rode the Dexter, talking to people, man, what we need on here, man. The guys are telling me that mental health go away, you know. And I met a bunch of people downtown, man, and you can see, man, that mental health issue is a big issue for us, man. That Medicaid go away this fall, man. Listen, these people need their meds, man.
And it never improves. It's been getting worse since they closed Northville.
Man, since the 90s, since they closed Northville, they stopped sending people to prison.
Yep.
Man, you should see Peel Line in prison. You wouldn't believe it. If it's 1,500 people on the yard, it's 800 people in the line getting pills.
Trying to cope
the line
with
wrapped around the yard for people just going by getting their meds. These people need to be in the hospital. A lot of them crazy.
Yeah.
No, they gone.
Real.
You know, for real.
Yeah.
Yeah, they need to be in the hospital. And that's the thing.
And never get addressed. What is that? Why is mental health not a priority in this country?
Because there's more money to warehouse.
Damn.
Treatment costs money.
I know it.
I can put you in prison and, we making money.
Yeah. Yeah.
Keeps the job, correctional officers, staff, the town that the prison is in.
The federal government pay a certain amount per prisoner to the institution.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's
And towns where prisons are, they ain't real towns. They like in the middle of nowhere, and they became a town because of the prison. Yeah. But then they got the employees, they got housing, everything that grew up around the prison. Cold water, think about that.
Yeah.
These places where prisons are.
They need to uproot that motherfucker on Mound and Davidson and put that motherfucker somewhere else, man. That's just bold. Can you imagine looking out your back window and it's a prison, like the houses on Dwyer or the street behind?
Right there, all the houses.
If you look out your back window, it's a big ass prison just across the street.
That's the Detroit
detention center.
Yeah, detention center now.
So
now the other one now, Ryan is just over there.
Dickerson?
No, it's Ryan and Mound.
Prison.
Yeah, okay. But it's closed.
Okay, Ryan closed?
Yep.
Okay.
But Mound is still open, but it ain't a prison no more. It's the Detroit detention center.
Yeah. They finally tore down that ugly motherfucker downtown. And I rode past there the other day and I bullshit you not, bro. I felt, because I was in there for the murder and that wasn't my case. I shouldn't have been in there. And every time I rode past that building, I just got the eerie ass feeling like, damn, I remember being in there looking out trying to peek out the windows from across the hall. And when I seen that motherfucker tore down, I was like, okay, I'm better now.
I was in there 99 days. You remember them bugs used to come out the things? Yeah. I'm in there like 99 days. So I ain't never been locked up in my life.
Right.
I ain't never been in nothing. That's where it first put me at the old jail.
Old jail.
And I'm in there like, man, shit, let me out. What am I doing here? I'm looking out the window. You can see the people walking across the street. They right there.
Right there.
And I'm looking like, man, I'm supposed to be out there.
I'm just thinking like you were the mayor of the fucking city, and then now you looking out a prison window in downtown that you helped build.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Less than a year after you was mayor. It was less than a year I was in there. That was my first stop. I went up in there. Man, that was crazy. Now listen, that was crazy. That was great. Listen, that was great. County jail, that county jail especially. Yeah. That was hard.
That was the worst.
That was the worst.
Yeah.
That county jail is something, but you get street cred for going all that stuff.
Hey, fuck that street cred.
Yeah, keep that cred.
Give me my street. Give me my car on the street.
You really get cred out there.
I want my cred out there. Right. Give me some Davidson cred.
I'll get cred on
7 Mile cred.
Some Dexter cred.
Get some motherfucking Linwood cred.
Linwood cred is good.
Need some Amico cred, nigga. Some Amico credit.
Nigga, street cred being that old.
Oh man, that shit ain't about. That shit don't hold no. That shit don't get you no credit card.
No, it don't get you no communion with your family, man.
Yeah. Oh
man, you got to go through that glass for the visit. That little thing. Yeah, I did all that. So people would have rumors. I used to hear rumors that I was in them good jails. Huh? I don't know what that is.
Yeah.
But,
no,
I was in a camp. I ain't never been in no camp. I ain't never been in no easy prison. I went to the real spot.
At 28, you went straight to max.
You got to.
Yeah. You did a quarantine
because of
in
the number of years. I did quarantine in Jackson. Yeah.
Fuck off.
I did quarantine.
That's
in Jackson.
horrible.
Yeah.
I did too, but shit. I know it's fucking worse from when I was there. That was a fucking human bird cage in this bitch. I tell that story. I walk in Jackson. I walk in there with the shit they give you, and they crack the door. Boom, one time, blah, boom, blah. And I walk in. As soon as that motherfucker opened, I heard. Slipping in the darkness.
Heard that video. That was your favorite.
Fucked up now.
Yeah.
But thank God to all praise.
But thank God we
all
right
praise
here.
due. We all here doing good. Yes, loving on our families. What it's all about, and building a better surrounding for us and our people. Yes, sir.
So let me tell you what I'm doing now before I go.
Come on with it. I need that.
So when I was in prison, for the first year I was there, I was just mad at everybody, myself mostly. Mm-hmm. But I stumbled up into the chapel, man, met this guy, Bruce Smith, who asked me if I had a personal relationship with the Lord Jesus Christ. Mm-hmm. I told him, man, I don't even know what that is, man. I've been hearing that my whole life. Mm-hmm. So he said, you want to receive him? I said, yeah. So we went to the back pew, got on my knees, I'm crying around this dude, man, and gave Christ my life right then. That was June 9th of 2014. So for the next 6 years, all I was doing was studying the Bible, working in the chapels. They allowed me to preach, counseling men. I was doing people's, paperwork, trying to get them up out of there. Never charged nobody no money. I'm doing their legal work. Had to remember I was a lawyer. But that's what I was doing.
That's crazy. You said I had to remember that you were a lawyer.
Absolutely. I had to remember that.
That's crazy work,
You went
dog.
there, you're like, man.
Damn.
So when I got out, I wrote this whole plan of a city of freedom, this ministry that would be different, that we would help set people free from religion, free from whatever binds you. And I said, I'm doing that when I get out. Well, it took me a couple of years. The Lord told me I was in Georgia, going back to Detroit. I didn't want to come back to Detroit. Boy, man. I said, man, I ain't going back to Detroit. Lord, you must have meant something else. You meant Dallas or something, man. He said, no, I'll go on back. So I came back, moved my wife and my children here, and we just launched City of Freedom Ministry. We just launched it right there at the Considine, right on Woodward, 8904 Woodward, next door to the Old Northern, man. So that's what we're doing now. We just had our 9th encounter, we call it. We don't call it service, our 9th encounter. So that's what I'm doing now, man, trying to get people free, however they bound. So that's what we do. So even if they locked up still, we trying to get people commutations and pardons, or to file things on their behalf. If they're having problems in their relationship, we're trying to bring people for counseling, but we also are just trying to get people free from what they've been bound by. So whatever that is, spiritually, really, spiritually and soulfully.
Yeah.
Because a lot of stuff is in people's mind, their will and emotions, And so that's what I do now. And it took me a long time to get here, but I hated that whole experience. But I know I wouldn't be here but for it.
Just ready to serve.
I'm ready to serve. Ready to do what God called me to do.
Amen.
Yep.
It's crazy how the journey creates the purpose, and you don't even know it. Like when we were doing the things we were doing, we were younger, whatever they may be. It's just like, like you say, you went to law school, and then you end up representing these brothers that need you, in the system, and using that law degree. I mean, even after law school, becoming a mayor and a teacher, and which is the greatest job is a teacher. And then the mayor, you've always been in a position serving people, and then for God to run you through the fire to polish you up. Like you can get all the books and everything, and then it's like, well, now you got to go in the furnace so I can polish you up right quick and come out of there. Bam, and you're going to do what I need you to do, and you're going to live out the rest of your days as amazing as you want them.
That's it. That's it, man. That's the whole thing, Trey. Yeah. We get to this age, we be like, man, how can I help other people? Matter of fact, when I was here last time, remember them girls gave me that? Yeah. And you helping those trafficking victims, and I'm like, remember, I said, it's a lot of trafficking in Detroit. Yeah. And they was like, let me talk to you.
Yes.
And a young lady told me about how she was trafficking and all this kind of. She said, I want you to wear this. I ain't took this off.
Come on now.
I'm like, man, listen, man, there's a lot of stuff happening to these young girls.
These are made, ladies and gentlemen, these bracelets were made by survivors of human trafficking. Yeah. That's crazy. That's crazy.
That's crazy, ain't it? I told you, man. Listen, that's something like back in the day you would have heard, be like, man, that's terrible. Yeah. And you just move on with your life. Yeah. But then they stop you now. They stop like, Trick ain't got time, man. You got to go do this show. You got to do this thing. But you got a point in your life now. I got to help these girls.
Period.
I got to help these women now.
Period.
And that's crazy because then y'all come over here and I'm the same. I'm like, you did what? This is happening. I'm like, man, I got mad. Yeah. Like, what? I'm like, wait a minute. What?
I be ready to pick that fire up and go, where they at?
Man, that's crazy.
She told me the other one that was here, I said, where is he now? She said, he's gone. I said, gone where? Is he in prison? Because I got reach in prison too, goddamn. She said, no, he's gone. I said, is he with the worms? She said, yeah. I was like, all right. Yeah, because
he's dead. It's like she got the freedom to talk now.
Too. Yeah.
Psychologically, he still has some control.
Control over, So
since he's dead now, I can tell you. No, you can tell me because you can tell.
Yeah.
He can't.
And it's a whole nother level. The way they're treated, the way they drug them. and to keep them down, to keep them in line, to do what they want them to do. I'm like, God damn.
Then wake up in Baltimore, then the next day you're in Cleveland, and the next day you're in Detroit. Be right in your neighborhood and can't go see your people.
Can't go see your people.
I
That's
said,
crazy.
man, I learned so much just from the interaction coming over here with them, but it go along with what God has taken me.
Yeah.
You know, just help people. I'll help you. You help people.
Yeah.
You know?
There we go. That's right.
That's
Yep.
what I'm doing now.
That's how me, Zeke, New Era Detroit. It's like, you know what?
That's my man.
I'm gonna help you because you doing that.
No doubt.
Yeah.
No
So
doubt.
and I'm gonna go do some more shit to help you too, to make sure, because what you're doing is what needs to be done.
Necessary.
And I thank
told
God, you know, God put us in a room with people like that. That you know, whether they're former victims, survivors, or current victims, all the way up into community leaders. It's like to be able to help on so many different scales. Like, you know, your knowledge and experience is what puts you in a position to be able to serve the Creator the way you do. And that's what's most important. You know what I mean? Now, God gave us beautiful families. You know, we could have that because the most important. It's us, and then it's our family.
Yes, good.
It's like these are the closest people to us. Everybody, so many people pass the line for that. They can't matter until they're allowed and deemed worthy to stand in the space with a God that serves the Creator, that uses me for His purpose.
That's good.
Yes, sir.
Man.
FlyZoneUSA, my big brother Kwame Kilpatrick, man.
That was
God bless
beautiful,
you.
bro.
Thank you
God
for
bless you.
coming, man.
That's just find your knees.
I heard him, motherfucker.
Yeah, you know. Take me a second.
It made